"Grandma, we're going to Olivia's," my grandson announced, holding his mom's hand. I felt uneasy. Days later, I found Olivia handcuffed in their empty house. I'm Linda Williams, by the way. At 62, it's a little shocking sometimes to see how the years have changed me when I check my reflection. Yet inside, I still feel like I did years ago. I lost my dear husband, George, 5 years back, and ever since I've been living solo in this big house. It's on Maple Street, situated in a peaceful New England suburb, and every corner is packed with recollections of our life together. Looking out at the leaves changing color, I often think about the good times George and I shared. To keep the blues away, I tutor local kids 2 times a week. They call me Mrs. Williams or sometimes Aunt Linda, and their cheerful faces lift my spirits every day. Helping them learn has become one of my reasons for getting up each morning. My son, Kevin, is 34. He's in the IT field and lives in the town over. He's smart and committed to his job. Maybe as a result, he's so swamped that we rarely get to connect. He tied the knot 3 years ago, and that's when my precious grandson, Liam, arrived. Liam is already 4. He's a bundle of energy, and he means the world to me. Honestly, I wouldn't say Kevin's wife, Stephanie, and I are particularly close. She's lovely and really smart, but there's something about her that I just can't seem to connect with. We only see each other every 6 months or so. I don't like visiting just to visit, which is why it's a shame that I can't see my grandson as much as I'd like. However, seeing Kevin content makes me feel like I've done my job as a mom. Stephanie does a great job with Liam and seems to handle most of the parenting duties while Kevin's tied up at work. I'm really thankful to her for that kindness. As evening descends, I head to the garden to care for my roses and ponder my family. Even though I feel a sense of emptiness without George, I still have Kevin and Liam. Considering that thought brings a warmth to my feelings. I have a tutoring session scheduled for tomorrow after a considerable break. As I picture the happiness on my students' faces, I begin to get dinner ready. Once I've wrapped up my tutoring and arrived back home, I discovered a fresh message on my phone. It was from my son, Kevin. Upon opening it, there was a picture of a birthday celebration for my adorable grandson, Liam. Liam is already 4 years old, it's hard to believe. Wishing him a happy birthday. Can I come over to see him with a gift? Kevin responded swiftly, saying I could come over any time, Mom. My spirit overflowed with happiness. Seeing Liam makes me truly happy. However, I'm also a little apprehensive about how things will be with Stephanie. Nevertheless, the sheer happiness of seeing my grandson supersedes that concern. A week later, I purchased Liam's birthday present and went to Kevin's place. At the big mall, I selected a toy featuring a character I thought Liam would enjoy. Plus, I also picked up some local, special desserts that Kevin has always loved since he was a kid. The moment the door opened, Liam sprinted towards me, yelling, "Grandma." Watching him smile just melts my heart. "Happy birthday, Liam." Just as I was about to embrace him, Stephanie came forward, offering me slippers while gently pulling Liam away. "Liam, go back. Welcome, mother-in-law. It's been a while since we've seen each other. Thanks for coming today." Her face wore a smile, but her words felt rather cold. "Hey, Stephanie, sorry it's been so long. And Kevin, too." I acted like I didn't pick up on her vibes and went into the living room. I handed the treats to Stephanie and the present to Liam, all wrapped up. The second Liam ripped the paper off and saw what was inside, he just started bouncing around, so excited. "Wow, that's exactly the toy I was hopping for," he exclaimed. "Thank you, Grandma." He took the toy out right away and started playing with it. Kevin then chimed in, saying, "Mom, Liam is really thrilled." "Thanks, Grandma." "No problem," I replied. "We don't get together all that frequently." As I watched my grandson having such a good time, we all chatted for a little while. But then Kevin's phone rang halfway through and he said he needed to take it for a work call and got up from the couch to answer it. "You're still constantly working, huh?" I said. "Stephanie, thanks for always looking after Kevin and Liam." When I said this to Stephanie, I was caught off guard by her expression. She looked at me with a hard, angry face. "Mom-in-law, could you please avoid getting Liam toys based on specific characters?" Stephanie said to me, her voice flat and emotionless. At that moment, I really felt out of place at my son's place. But I knew I needed to deal with this, both for my grandson's sake and for my son's. A couple of days later, I decided to use a day off to go shopping at Oakwood Plaza, the shopping mall down the street. I was going to look for some new stuff for my garden since the end of summer sales were going on. As I was walking near the huge fountain right in the middle of the mall, I was suddenly addressed by a voice I knew. "Grandma." When I turned around, there was Liam right there. His ponytail was swaying back and forth, and Stephanie was right beside him. "Wow, Liam, Stephanie, what a shock to find you both here." Liam made a move to come towards me, but Stephanie gripped his hand firmly. "Liam, stay put." Stephanie sounded a bit harsh. "Is Kevin working today too?" I inquired, and Stephanie's face seemed to tighten up slightly. "Yes, he's away on a business trip." The way she answered seemed a little strange. "Where were you two off to?" We were planning on going to the department store across from the train station. Stephanie's voice sounded like it was wavering a little. Since I was going in that direction too, I proposed. I'm headed that way too. Want to walk over there together? Are you getting something for Liam? Suddenly, Stephanie's face shifted. Mother-in-law, just stop. I don't want you to come with us. Oh, I was just trying to be friendly. That's too much meddling. Don't just make decisions for us. Overwhelmed by Stephanie's strong feelings, I didn't know what to say. Right then, Liam chimed in with a grin. Grandma, we're going to Olivia's house. Liam confirmed it with a nod. Oh, so you're going to a friend's place? Yes, that's correct. Stephanie acknowledged it with a hint of reluctance, and her demeanor was getting weirder by the second. I see. You could have just told me that from the start. I thought to myself, but maybe it would be crossing the line for a mother-in-law to go with them when they're visiting a friend. Well then, take care. Yes, I get it. I completely understand. Come on, Liam, let's go. Stephanie quickly grabbed Liam's hand and they left. As I saw them leave, I felt an unsettling feeling in my heart. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something Stephanie was concealing. While I was driving home, that whole scene kept replaying in my mind. Stephanie's response just seemed off. And that name, Olivia, is bothering me. Could it be Liam's friend or something else? I cleared my head, trying to dismiss the urge to speculate. I must be getting worked up over nothing. A few months later, Kevin called me out of the blue. Mom, we're relocating at the end of next month, he said. It's for your father's job. Oh, really? I responded. Are you going further away than you are now? It's a bit further, he replied, but still close enough for you to visit whenever you like. I felt a pang of loneliness, considering that we don't see each other often, and now they'd be even more distant. I understand, I said. At least let me help with the move. I wanted to be involved one last time, so I asked about when he was moving. Thanks, Mom, he said, but it's taken care of. The moving company's handling everything. I felt a little disappointed hearing Kevin's words, but I understood he was trying to make things easier. I understand, I said again, but if there's anything at all I can do, please let me know. I could help sort Liam's things, for instance. Okay, thanks, he said. After we got off the phone, I gazed out the window, contemplating the changes coming soon. Liam, my dear granddaughter, it's difficult to imagine the distance between us increasing. But if it's for Kevin's job, I suppose there's not much I can do. A few days later, Kevin messaged me the moving details. It has the date plus the new address and the schedule for the big move. I kept rereading it, hoping to memorize it. As the day to relocate drew near, I found myself constantly considering how I could contribute. Ultimately, I was assigned the task of assisting with the cleaning the day prior to the move. Mom, it'd be a huge help if you could come by in the morning, Kevin requested. When he said that, I immediately said yes with enthusiasm. Definitely, I'd be delighted to be there. Could I maybe help with Liam's room as well? Oh, that'd be fantastic. Liam's stuff isn't even packed up yet. The following day, I got up before the sun was ready to go and went to Kevin's place. When I got there was already a massive moving truck sitting in front of the house. As I opened the front door, the interior was already packed with cardboard boxes. In the living room, Kevin and Stephanie were busily arranging their stuff. Good morning, Kevin, Stephanie. Mom, thanks so much for coming, Kevin told me with a smile. Stephanie, however, just gave a small nod and quickly resumed packing. Where's Liam? He's upstairs playing. Mom, could you maybe help tidy up Liam's room? Absolutely, I'll go right now. I went up the stairs. I headed up the stairs and made my way to Liam's bedroom. When I opened the door, I saw Liam playing with some dolls. Grandma, Liam ran up to me looking happy to see me. Good morning, Liam. Let's work hard at getting ready to move, okay? Yeah. I started helping Liam organize her things. While I packed up the toys and clothes into boxes, I wanted to soak up every moment with my granddaughter. Are you thrilled with the new house? Yes, however, will I not get to see you anymore, Grandma? Witnessing Liam's concerned expression, I felt a pang in my chest. Certainly not. Grandma will absolutely come visit. Plus, we can chat on the phone, correct? Seriously, you promise? Absolutely, I give you my word. Liam's face lit up. We kept packing, although inside, I felt a bit worried about how this shift would impact our family. On the day of the move, I drove to my son's place as I'd agreed. But once I got there was no moving day. There wasn't a moving day. I went to my son's house as I'd promised. I gave my word. I saw no moving truck or any indication of activity in front of the house. Figuring this was weird, I rang the doorbell multiple times but got no answer. That's strange. Feeling a bit off, I decided to use the extra key Kevin had given me to go inside. As I unlocked the door, a shocking scene met my eyes. The house was completely vacant, like no one had ever resided there. Just nail holes were visible on the walls and dust was drifting in the rooms. What is happening? While I was walking through the house, bewildered, a stunning view presented itself when I stepped into the living room. In a corner of the room, a small girl was sitting curled up and she was handcuffed. This can't be real. Liam. I immediately tried to go towards the girl, but she flinched in fear. An awful smell hung in the air, and partially eaten bread and empty water bottles were strewn across the floor. The shades were drawn, and in the shadowy room I could barely make out the girl's shape. I shakily dialed Kevin's number. Kevin, are you there? What's happening? Liam is. Huh, I asked, my motherly instincts kicking in. Mom, what are you talking about? Kevin sounded perplexed on the other end of the line. I'm at your house right now. Liam is in handcuffs. Wait, Mom, he said. We've already relocated. Liam is here with us. Kevin's words left my mind completely blank. Mom, are you all right? Is something wrong? But Liam is asterisk right here with me. As if picking up on my bewildered state, Kevin spoke in a softer tone. Mom, that isn't Liam. Are there maybe some other kids there? His words brought me back to the present, and I looked again more closely at the girl. Yep, she did resemble Liam, but after taking a moment to really look, I could tell she was a little older. I'm sorry, Kevin, I got things mixed up. That's okay, Mom, he replied. But if there's a child there, you might want to phone the authorities. Yes, I'll do that, I said. Sorry for the scare. I put my phone away and refocused on the girl. She's definitely not Liam, but who is she and what on earth is she doing here? You aren't Liam, are you? I asked. The girl kept quiet, her eyes wide with fear, and she didn't respond. It's okay, don't be scared, I said. My name is Linda. What's your name? After what felt like a long pause, I heard it, a very quiet voice. Olivia, that's a pretty name, I responded. How old are you? Olivia held up 5 fingers. 5 years old, I see. Why are you here? Olivia hesitated a moment before she began to speak. She explained that up until just a week before, she'd been residing with her dad, but he just vanished out of the blue, and then her mom showed up and brought her here in the dead of night. My mom gave her instructions to stay. So as Olivia recounted her story, a surge of fury started building up inside me. I was shivering, famished, and terrified all by myself. As I held Olivia close, comforting her sobs, it felt like my chest was about to explode. To treat a kid that way, this wasn't right. What kind of person? Shaking with rage, I asked Olivia what her mother's name was, and she finally told me. That's when everything clicked into place. With trembling fingers, I pulled out my phone and called a specific person. After giving them a thorough explanation of what was happening, the person on the other end, clearly speechless, said they'd come as soon as they could. After that, I took Olivia to the hospital. I had the doctor do a full checkup on her, checking to see if she was getting enough to eat and what her overall health was like. Thankfully, she didn't appear to have any major health problems, but I was told she'd need mental health support. Olivia, stay here at the hospital. We'll be here for a while. I'll be back soon. Although she looked worried, Olivia gave me a small nod. Leaving the hospital, I went back to Kevin's empty house. Then I decided to conceal myself and wait in the closet. I'm going to find out what really happened. In the shadows, I made a resolute decision, and then I waited for the sound of someone opening the front door. Around midday the following day, I heard the sound of the key turning in the lock. I was in the closet, holding my breath as I observed what was going on. I had brought provisions with me. Stephanie walked into the living room with a plastic shopping bag, but all that was there were the handcuffs, and Olivia wasn't anywhere to be found. Stephanie's complexion visibly changed, becoming very white. Olivia, hello, where are you? Please answer me. Olivia was the name of the kid, who Stephanie had claimed was Liam's friend, as I recalled. Olivia had confided in me everything. As I watched Stephanie search around the house in a frantic way, I slowly stepped out of the closet. Are you searching for Olivia? She's not here anymore. W.H. mother-in-law. Stephanie, looking bewildered, had turned back and then stopped immediately when she saw me. I found her. She's receiving the appropriate care. Stephanie knew she had been discovered, and she clicked her tongue, looking as though she was contemplating something. Why did you do this? Tell me the whole story. I attempted to keep my voice calm, but Stephanie suddenly burst into tears. Before I met Kevin, I was involved with a guy named Stanton, and I had Olivia out of wedlock, actually. Stephanie began speaking, looking down, looking distressed, but Stanton got violent, so I ended the relationship with him. I understand. That must have been difficult. Then, ultimately, I wound up raising Olivia on my own. I didn't want to give her up. I didn't have any money, though, and she was taken from me by force. Stephanie kept talking, with tears streaming down her face. Even after I married Kevin, I occasionally went to Stanton's apartment. I worried about Olivia. That day when Liam told me he was hanging out with Olivia, the truth was they were going to Stanton's place. It looked like she was arranging chances for Liam and Olivia to have fun together, just like brother and sister. Both of them called her and then vanished. Also, his place got shut down, so Olivia had nowhere to live. Stephanie really had no option but to bring Olivia over here, where the agreement was still good until the end of the month. I promise I had zero communication with Stanton after Kevin and I got married. However, Olivia is still someone I truly care for. While I was listening quietly, Stephanie glanced up, her eyes filled with tears. But I couldn't wreck my own family, not with Kevin and Liam. Being a mom, you know how it is, yeah. Stephanie crumbled to the floor, sobbing just like a mother worrying about her kid. You said Olivia is a precious child, right? Absolutely, yes. I stared down at Stephanie, my expression cold, and I asked, so why did you put handcuffs on her and put her in diapers? Why did you call feeding her baiting? That's... Stephanie's face, which had been full of sorrow like a dramatic character, abruptly became hard. I believed you were a loving mother, but is it right to treat a child this way? Regardless. She avoided my gaze with sweat pouring off her forehead. What's this? I pulled out my phone and showed Stephanie a video clip. It showed Liam and Olivia playing outside an apartment that had Stanton's name on the mailbox. Plus, Stephanie's own voice was audible coming from inside the apartment. You brought Liam over to Stanton's residence so you could be involved with him and also abandon Olivia, correct? That's correct. The evening before, I managed to find the apartment where Olivia had been staying and inquired with the people living nearby. A neighbor, worried about what was going on, had filmed the whole thing. Can you honestly say you value your child? You were having an affair with Stanton, weren't you? Stephanie's face flushed and she began to shake uncontrollably. My mother-in-law. We were a loving family, weren't we? Don't destroy that. Please don't tell my husband. I shoved Stephanie away as she desperately held on to me. Why on earth would I remain silent? Because he is. As Stephanie was about to say something, the balcony door opened and Kevin was standing there, since I am an attorney. Kevin. Stephanie ultimately crumpled to the floor on her knees. Yes, my son Kevin is a lawyer. She looked stunned for a second, but then her real feelings showed as she glared at me. What's Kevin doing here? Did you tell on me? As Stephanie, her face now betrayed, tried to attack me, Kevin stopped her. I heard every word. You've been cheating on me all this time, haven't you? That's not accurate. Listen, now she's clinging to Kevin for dear life. Stanton is a worthless person who doesn't even have a job. I was deceived. I was misled. Panicked, Stephanie said something I couldn't believe. That guy is just good in the sack. You have a high-paying job as a lawyer. You're the appropriate husband. Kevin looked at Stephanie with a look I couldn't stand. I was unable to overlook the affair on its own, but restraining a kid. That's just cruel. I can't forgive this atrocity. Don't even say that. Stephanie started wailing like a kid and began flailing while Kevin gave her a look of utter contempt. Stephanie, we're getting a divorce. I'm going to get custody of the child. Also, I've already contacted the authorities, so remain here. All that I've worked towards is collapsing around me. It's all because of you. I wish you hadn't found that kid. At long last, trapped, Stephanie retrieved a knife from her purse. Then she charged at me. Mom, look out. Right then, I expertly sidestepped Stephanie. She shouted, damn it, and again rushed at me, yet I avoided her a second time. Quit evading me, you old bat. With her third attempt, I disarmed her of the knife. Did you forget I teach self-defense and have experience with martial arts? I pressed Stephanie down onto the ground, and she let out a cry of pain. Soon after, the police sirens, dispatched by Kevin, got closer. Let me go. Someone without any regret must face the consequences of their actions. I paid no mind to Stephanie's cries and continued to keep her pinned. Finally, the police arrived, and Stephanie was escorted away, shouting. Kevin and I simply watched her being led away without saying a word. I presented photographic evidence and shared my account. They discovered Stephanie had also brought the means to eliminate Olivia. I'd been curious about her actions following her being restrained, but after getting details from the authorities, I was shocked to discover the extent of her planning. Ultimately, Stephanie was taken into custody, and her lover Stanton was also brought in for questioning. Kevin and Stephanie's divorce was finalized, and Kevin was given sole custody of Liam. Kevin mentioned his intention to pursue financial compensation from both Stephanie and Stanton, and he intended to ensure Stephanie fulfilled her child support obligations. Having lost everything, Stephanie's future will probably be challenging even after she's released. Olivia went to live with Stanton's parents. When they arrived to collect her, they appeared to be good people, unlike Stanton, which gives me some comfort. At Kevin's request, I moved in with him to assist in Liam's upbringing. Initially, Liam was disoriented by the new setting, but he slowly adjusted to my presence, and now I'm even teaching him martial arts. Grandma, I want to become tougher. Every time Liam says this with bright eyes, it fills me with joy. Yes, Liam, it's essential to be strong, but also remember to be compassionate. All right, I get it. I'll be kind to Olivia as well. Liam and Olivia still enjoy playing together from time to time. Their connection seems to be developing in a pure way, untouched by the troubles of grown-ups. One day, Kevin returned from work and told me, Mom, thank you so much. I have no idea what would have happened to our family if you hadn't been here. It's only natural, Kevin. We're a family. I embraced my son. His eyes were shimmering with tears. But Mom, I can't forgive Stephanie. Even when she's released from jail, there's no way I'll allow her to see Liam. I get it truly. Liam's well-being comes first, above all else. That evening, I went outside into the yard and gazed up at the sky full of stars. I thought about George. Oh, George, our family has faced so many hardships, but we're making it through somehow. You're still looking out for us, aren't you? A soft breeze brushed against my face. It felt like George was quietly saying that everything will be okay. More struggles are bound to come, undoubtedly, yet I truly feel we can get through them. Seeing Liam grow up, hopping Olivia finds joy in continuing to be there for Kevin. That's what I feel I'm meant to do now. The ties of family get tested sometimes, but with honesty and love, any hurdle can be jumped. That's what I hold true in my heart. And when all the pain fades away eventually, I'm certain we'll have become an even more resilient, more loving family. Picturing that day, I'm resolved to do my very best, even tomorrow, to safeguard my granddaughter's smile and for the joy of us all.